So my presentation today is in 4 parts. Firstly, we'll go through Wildcat Resources and the company. Secondly, we'll walk through Taba Taba, why we're excited about Taba Taba and what we're seeing. We've got a 3D visualization for you to see so you can understand the scale and size of Taba Taba. We'll then walk through the project for the last 12 months. Our teams have been very busy, what we've done in the last 12 months and what we plan to do in the upcoming 12 months. So our company, we've got 2 projects. We've got 800,000 plus ounces in New South Wales at Mount Adra, and we've got the flagship project, Taba Taba, near Port Hedland. We've got nearly 1.2 billion shares on issue, 325 million market cap, and $77 million in the bank as of last quarter. Who are the Wildcats? We're led by Jeff Elliott. He's our non-executive chairman. Jeff was MD of CSA Global, a very well-known geological organization. He was MD there for 19 years. He's a geologist, and he's been the non-executive chairman for Wildcat for the last 4 years. We also have Fiona Van Man, who's just joined our board. Fiona's background is in accounting. She looks after our nomination and remuneration committees. She's also on the board of Pantoro and Westgold. Our executive director is Matthew Banks. Matt actually put all these assets together. You'll see we've got over 1,200 square kilometers of assets. Matt actually put the assets together. He's the founder of Wildcat Resources. He's been involved in a lot of successful companies, including Spectrum Metals, which got sold to Ramelius Resources. He was also part of Rumble Resources and Delta Lithium. We've also got Sam Eakins as our technical director. Sam's a geologist. I see Sam and Torren as the finders of Taba Taba. They're the guys who went in and dug into all the reports and convinced our board that there was lithium at Taba Taba. Sam now looks after our business development. My background, as Duncan said, I'm a mining engineer, very proud to be from the School of Mines here. Worked in open pits and underground in Western Australia, then went over to Grasberg as mine manager of the giant Grasberg mine, where we mine nearly 300,000 tonnes a day. Came back, worked for BHP Billiton, and then started a small mining company called Salt Lake Mining that purchased the Beta Hunt mine, brought it out of care and maintenance into production, and sold it to Karora Resources that now have done a deal with Westgold. We also, at the time I joined, we brought Tim Manus on board. Tim was the CFO at Ramelius Resources. We'd just raised $100 million. Tim has a background in taking projects from exploration, development, getting them funded and into production. So we're really lucky to have Tim on our team. We have Torren Rowe. Again, Torren is the guy who went to our board with reports from 1983 saying there is certainly lithium here. He did all the hard work. He calculated all the different ratios and convinced our board, together with Sam, on why there was lithium there. Torren is in charge of our geology team. On site, we have our exploration manager, Melissa McLennan. She's in charge of our entire site team. At 6 rigs, we had nearly 80 people on site. Melissa's background is in lithium. She was involved in Mount Holland from exploration to production, and she looks after our site team. A huge shout out to all the Wildcats that are not on this slide, because they do an amazing amount of work, and that's how we deliver the results we have been able to deliver in the last 12 months. The Taba Taba project, a little bit of the deal history. If you go back through it, GAM in 2007 owned 4 projects. They had Greenbushes, they had Pilgangoora, they had Wodgina, and they had Taba Taba. 3 out of those projects have become the world's largest hard rock mines. So our team had a look at Taba Taba and compared them to the 4 projects. They found that Taba Taba had similar LCT pegmatites that were mapped. They were mineralized and outcropped. There was also high-grade old tantalum workings on site, and there was the favorable mineral ratios, and that's why we did the deal at Taba Taba. What have we done in the last 12 months? It's been a very busy 12 months. We did the deal in May. We commenced drilling in July. We discovered Leia in September. We've raised $100 million at 76 cents in November. We then found a parallel lode underneath a layer called Luke in April 24. We then completed 100,000 meters in 11 months. And now, after 6 months' worth of metallurgical test work, we've come out with excellent metallurgical recoveries in our phase 1 test work. Why are we so excited about Taba Taba? It's in the best location in the world. It's the Silicon Valley of mining, the Pilbara. It's nearly 80 kilometers from port. Nearly 20% of the world's lithium comes from the Pilbara. It's on granted mining leases. There used to be a mine here in 2015. People forget that to go from exploration to a mining lease normally takes about 3 years. We're very lucky that we've already found a deposit on an existing mining lease. We also have nearly 1,200 square kilometers of tenure around us to explore for further lithium prospects. We also have the large layer deposit that we've found. It's outcropping for nearly 1 kilometer. It's mineralized from surface. It's up to 180 meters wide. We've also got industry-leading recoveries, and there's an open pit, low-cost open pit potential here. We've also drilled nearly 100,000 meters that I spoke about. Nearly 55,000 meters of that is in diamond drilling. Why have we drilled diamond? Because we want to get it into a reserve. To get into a reserve, you have to have measured indicated. So we've bit the bullet. We are on granted mining leases. We want to go through the gears very quickly, so we've drilled it to measured indicated. Next, we're going to go into a video and show you a 3D animation. So where are we? We're in the northwest of Western Australia, Port Hedland. We're 80 kilometres south of the port, 70 of those kilometres on a sealed road and 10 on our own whole road. To the south of us is the Kalgoorlie mine, nearly 47 k's away, and the Wodgina mine, nearly 87 kilometres away. We have tenure of around 1,200 square kilometres, all owned by Wildcat Resources. And that's our next drill target, Kalgoorlie North, nearly 10 kilometres away from the Kalgoorlie mine. If we zoom in on the mining lease, you can see in yellow is the miscellaneous lease, the mining lease is the shaded area. It's on an existing haul road. We've got existing haul roads, we've got an existing tantalum pit, and we've got licensed bores on the property. If you look at all the pegmatites we've identified on the property, we've got the Han, the Hut, the Taba, the Chowie, the Layer, and parallel to it, we have the Luke underneath it. If we strip it back, you can see the swarm of pegmatites that we have. The key ones being Layer and Luke. Layer nearly 3 kilometres in plunge. If we come back, that's the accommodation where we have 80 people. We're going to now have the drone fly to the south. We're on flat terrain. The flora-fauna surveys are all completed. We've also gone ahead and drilled all the geotech drilling for an open pit. And then we've done the water bore drilling to show that we have sufficient quality and quantity of water on site. We're now flying south, and you can see the giant layer deposit underneath us. It's nearly 600 meters across and 3 kilometers in plunge. It surfaces where you can see the marking there of layer, and it outcrops at surface for nearly 1 kilometer. That's the Taba Taba pit we're flying over, and we have a number of drill pads that we've used to drill the 100,000 meters. As you can see there, it's an outcrop of nearly 1 kilometer. We're now going to have a look at all the drilling we completed in a long section here. When we got the project, there wasn't much drilling. There was only a very little amount of drilling. In the first few months, we drilled the Han and the Hut to the north, and very quickly we went to the Layer in the south. In September, we hit Layer, and then we got 6 rigs on site and kept drilling Layer and had exciting results come out. And in April, we hit Luke, and so we had our rigs on Layer and Luke. So a real credit to our team to ramp up so quickly so we can get a resource out in time. The deposit itself is nearly 120 to 150 meters wide with some excellent results, all over 80 meters, 1 to 1.5% lithium oxide, so some tier 1 results right through a long section of the deposit. If you look at it, we've only drilled to 500 meters in depth, and it's about 600 meters across. It's open at depth, and we're also looking at more parallel lodes under Luke in the future. Everyone asks us, what does it look like in section? So if we slice it in section, it's 100 meters wide. But also you can see the parallel loads, the Han, the Hut, the Chewy in the hanging wall. That all bodes well for a low stripping ratio in future. Again, in section, some of the results we're seeing, 110 meters wide, and results of 84 meters at 1.5, 95 at 1.2. Today we put out a result of 69 at 1.2, 1.9%, so some significant intersections here. So hopefully through that visual you got to get a little bit about the size and the scale of Taba Taba. Bit of the project update. It's nice to start forming a resource, but we also have to make sure we can get it out of the ground. The results we have got are excellent. We did nearly 288 kilos of sample from 9 holes. It's a very simple process of flotation. We've got recoveries of 79 to 84% at 5.5% lithium concentrate, and at 6% we got 72 to 84%. These are just the initial results, which are world-class. Next steps, we've got nearly 1,000 tonne of samples, 700 holes in the lab that will start testing at a PFS level. We have a couple of opportunities to increase the recovery and reduce the OPEX. That includes getting the grind size a bit coarser, as well as adding more reagent. In terms of mining, I would love to have put some pit shells here, but I'm not allowed to. Typically, you don't have to be a mining engineer, but layer is where you're going to have the primary pit and potential pits on Chewy, Hut, as well as Luke. Luke looks a little bit narrow on the left-hand side there, but that's only because we haven't got the drill results back yet. Where's our environmental and approvals process? We've done nearly 6 out of the 8 environmental approvals required. We've done our flora-fauna surveys. We've done our soil and waste characterization. We've also done the groundwater studies, so only 2 more studies have to be done. It's the surface water assessment. That can only come after we come out with a resource. We find out the plant size, is it 2 million tonnes or is it 4 million tonnes, and then we do the surface water layout. But the tailings characterization work we're doing bulk flotation now, and we'll do that design within the next couple of months. In terms of community and heritage, we have some very positive relations with our First Nations. We also have all the heritage surveys completed on site, and we're progressing all discussions with all our stakeholders. Next, we're really excited about our next drill target, which is Pilgangoora North. It's 10 kilometers from the Pilgangoora mine. We think there's a fault offset here, and we have potential pegmatites for nearly 5 kilometers on our property. Again, why do we like it? It's the same reasons we like Taba Taba. It's outcropping LCT pegmatites. It's historical high-grade tantalum workings, favorable mineral ratios, and it's been never drilled before. So we're excited in the next couple of months to get in there and drill this prospect. In terms of other prospects, we have the Bolt Cutter East, and we're starting to prioritize our 1,200 plus square kilometers of tenure. Next steps, what are we going to do in the next 12 months? We're still in discovery mode, so we're exploring Taba Taba. We also got the geology exploration drilling on our regional prospects. We're also going to complete all the studies in the background. We're going to come out with a maiden resource. We're going to complete the mining resource estimate and the PFS study so we can come out with some reserves and values, financial values. We'll complete our environmental approvals, and we'll complete our PFS study and commence our DFS study. So finally, why do we think Wildcat Resources and Taba Taba is a key value driver? We're in the right location, we have the right asset, and we certainly have the right team. We're in the Pilbara. We are 80 kilometers from port. We certainly are in the right location with mining leases. We have the right asset. Taba Taba is impressive in size, scale, and quality. We start our regional drilling now, and we're funded with $77 million in the bank. In terms of team, we've got proven explorers who have found lithium on our properties, and now we're getting a development team that has come with a track record and can take this project to the next stage. So finally, no matter what the commodity, Taba Taba is one of the best undeveloped projects globally. Thank you very much for your time. We're in booth 126. If you've got any questions, please come and have a chat.